Back to another YouTube video. It's your boy Riot G. Today we're gonna react to the forgotten chaos of NBA 2K16's My Career story. We're gonna react to the forgotten chaos of NBA 2K16's My Career story. I think I need a sip of water. Alright, give me a second before we start the video because I need to talk clear. Can't be doing this during the video. Hold on. We're not editing that out. We're not editing that out. All raw footage. Alright. So yeah, let me just repeat this for the third time. You know, we haven't dropped in 5 to 6 days, so one more time. We're gonna react to the forgotten chaos of NBA 2K16's My Career story. I'm gonna make sure I put the link of the video in the description. So let's get right into the video. Let's go.
NBA 2K16 is my favorite game in the franchise, and even our robot overlords seem to consistently rank it as the second best game in the series. But going back and playing this game almost 10 years after its release, I can't help but think that this very game started the long and tragic downfall of the franchise. Realistically, there's only one reason why people remember this game at all, and that is the absolutely insane My Career story mode. And while in this video I will completely break down the story and why it was shadier than we all thought at first, it would be super wrong of me not to mention the crazy effect that the My Park mode had on all of this. The My Park mode got introduced in NBA 2K14 and it very quickly became a cash cow for 2K. In 2K15 it was obvious that this wasn't just luck, and by 2K16 they needed this mode to make a lot more money. And Ronnie 2K's brilliant idea was to disguise it under a grand story that was directed by Spike Lee. I'm not gonna lie to you, when I was 13 years old and I saw that Spike Lee was directing the next 2K My Career story, I was excited out of my mind. But now, looking back on it 10 years later with the knowledge that we have,
this is probably, you know, one of the only 2K My Careers I actually went through. So that's the reason why I'm reacting to this. What is y'all guys' favorite My Career? I think this one is probably one of the best ones. This one, 17 was cool. 15, 16, yeah, I already said 16. 15 was alright. 14 was okay. It was, yeah.
it was clear that, well, there was something shady going on here. Playing this storyline now at 23 years old, it's quite clear that basically the team and everybody was just on a shoelace budget. I mean, this thing looks like it was built with paper clips, a half-eaten bag of potato chips, and Ronnie 2K's used napkins. I mean, yeah, this year they added high school and college, and, you know, these have some charm to them, like the PA has school-specific things that they say, and they have little school-specific chants, which is pretty cute. But here's where the shady part comes in. You can skip any of these games, and as we all know, the My Career mode is basically here nowadays, so you can grind VC to make your My Player better, so you can go and play the park with your friends, right? Nobody really plays My Career for the My Career experience. Most players, I think like 95%, just use it so they can play other modes that are more fun with their friends. And the genius Ronnie 2K saw a way to exploit this. I mean, just imagine this. You want to have 5 My Players, one at every position, you want to test out different builds, right? So now every time...
What's the best build in y'all opinion? I mean, I usually go for point guard, of course. He has to know how to shoot, so I'll say like a sharpshooter. I ain't really much on like rebounding, but he's gotta know how to dunk too. Cause you know sometimes they miss their layups, so you never know. But definitely they gotta have handles also. So handles, 3-point shooting, good defense. Alright. So yeah, y'all let me know y'all favorite build also. Let's continue.
You want to make a My Player and, you know, earn VC through My Career, you have to first go through the character creation screen, then watch a 2-minute unskippable yap fest from Spike Lee. Then you have to skip all the...
I remember that too. Them cutscenes. Some of the cutscenes were good. Like the storyline for the 16 wasn't bad.
Cutscenes, play 3 high school games that are unskippable, by the way, and Of course, you have to skip cutscenes in between every game. And then after that, you go on to college where you have 4 games that you cannot skip and you have to play through, only to get to the NBA draft, which is unskippable as well. You have to sit there for like 15 minutes just doing nothing, waiting for your name to get announced. And then, and only then, do you make it to the NBA. But hold on, the first season in the NBA is only limited to 8 games. Because the coach is an asshole, you're not gonna play many minutes. You're gonna barely earn any VC in this first season. Of course, after every game, you get more cutscenes that you have to skip. And then, and only then, after these 8 games, you can actually get to the MyCareer.
Yeah, the live practices, the court drills. I remember those. The VC, the endorsement deals, like the today drills, like going to the camp and then the practices with the team before the games.
Mode where you can play a normal season of basketball where you can actually earn VC. Mind you, I did this for this video just to test it out, and it took me 45 minutes to get to the point where I could earn VC in the game. And that's on my super fast gaming PC. Imagine doing this on your PlayStation 4 back like 10 years ago on that slow ass hard drive during the hot summer days where your PS4 is basically overheating. This could have easily taken you an hour, if not more, to get through. And that's just to get to the point where you can earn VC. Mind you, after an hour, you still haven't earned a single coin of VC. That's basically 2K's way of saying, hey man, this is your 4th character that you're making. Why don't you just buy a little bit of VC? Come on, man, you can skip all of this if you just buy a little bit of VC. You don't have to torture yourself, but...
Then we have another ad right here. It's unskippable, I can't even skip it. Some bullcrap. It's 2. At least I can't hear it. Oh, really? Come on, you're gonna give me this?
Might be saying, hey man, maybe they're just proud of the story that they made, okay? Maybe they just want to show the story off. Well, we'll talk about the story in a little bit, but even if this was the case, they could have just made a simple checkbox that says, hey, I want to skip the MyCareer story, I already watched it, or I don't care about it, and that was it. But of course, Ronnie 2K would rather torture you so he can earn a little bit more money on top. Now, let's talk about the story, because if they wanted to show the story off, well, I also don't get that, because, like, literally, if you make a character that's any other race than black, the story immediately doesn't make sense. You're telling me that a light-skinned father, a light-skinned mother, gave birth to a darker-skinned sister, and a white man with a mustache? And they're supposed to be twins? Like, listen, man, I'm all for inclusivity, but this just doesn't make sense biologically. And this could have all been avoided if they just said that you were adopted. And you know, the story would still be cool, the adopted kid that rose through the ranks, you know, through the top streets of Harlem to make it to the NBA. It would still be a good story. But it just tells you how little fucks they gave about the right.
Comment down your favorite NBA team.
Hitting the story. They couldn't even think that, you know, the player might want to create a character that's not the same race as the other characters in the game. But trust me, it gets worse. The real story starts with you and your twin sister Cece getting some shots up before school, and they do the classic thing where, you know, 2 characters that have grown up together just randomly start telling the entire family history, you know, the backstory of every character in the game. You know, the thing they teach you in film school, which is tell, don't show. Here we also get introduced to Vic, who is actually the real main character of the story. You might think that you're the main character because it's called MyCareer, but oh no. The whole story is about Vic. If he's not the center point of a cutscene, then the people in the cutscene are talking about him. And the whole story is centered around, well, spoiler alert for a 10-year-old basketball game, but the whole story is centered around Vic's death. And the game is just trying to make us feel sad and bad for Vic at the end, but to be honest, this just doesn't work because...
Yeah, because I think there was a death in the plot in the story. Y'all let me know. Comment.
Vic is straight up an asshole that nobody feels sorry for. Like, let me recap it for you. In high school games, he's caught creep filming girls with his brick phone that doesn't even have a camera, and when he's not perving around on random high school girls, he's filming your sister. Like, I'm not even joking.
Are you gonna just find your seat this time?
Hey, see.
Are you taping me?
Nah,
Bro,
I'm making phone calls.
is he
I'm a
filming
networker. You know me, that's
Cece's
just what I
cheeks
do.
with a brick phone?
Hey, yo,
Bruh.
Hey, we gonna make it rain
Nah,
tonight,
they
baby.
call me the freak, and this guy's over here taping his best friend's sister cheeks with a brick phone that has no camera?
Some hundreds out for you, boy.
Bruh. And we find out that this is actually Vic rapping and that he wants money to record a mixtape.
I really do I really forgot the whole storyline for this.
Which Freak obviously refuses because the song is fucking trash. And here's where stuff starts to pop off, because after this, we find out that Vic, your supposedly best friend in this game, tried to hook up with your girlfriend, Yvette, behind your back, and he did—
See, like, whole time I was really gonna redo the intro because my voice and I had to drink some water, but it's cool. We already said everything.
didn't even want to admit it to you, okay? We also find out that he used $250,000 of your money to host parties and get girls in your name. Oh my god. Okay, so let's recap Vic as a character so far. He's perving on your sister, roasting your business decisions, ruining your image in the media. He tried to hook up with your girl behind your back and not even admit it. He used $250,000 of your money. He called you greedy on top of that when you refused to record his mixtape, and then guess what? We find out that Freak, you, the main character, accidentally killed somebody by cracking their head open in self-defense, and Vic saw all of this, and now he's blackmailing you. How are we supposed to feel sorry for Vic? He's literally the worst person ever. And guess how this scene ends? Guess how this scene ends after we find out all of this? You know what? I'm just gonna show you.
Hey, yo, peep this. Me borrow this here ride, man. Hey, come on. It's not like you're gonna miss it.
I need this back at the end of the season in the same condition.
Yes, Vic just asked Freak to borrow this car, and Freak is like, alright man, just have it in the same condition I lent it to you in. Like, what? Why is there not an option to kick Vic out of the car and run him over? And that's another problem that I have with the story. I mean, it's called MyCareer, but literally you don't get to make a single choice. Like, there are all of these cutscenes where all of the characters around you are, you know, discussing your business decisions. Like, there is this one cutscene where your agent and your dad are discussing, like, whether you should stay in college or, you know, get drafted to the NBA. And it's like, why am I watching this cutscene when it literally doesn't matter? Like, the game is gonna decide for me. I don't have any say in this. Like, why am I watching it? The ending of the story is also really, really funny and really bad, because basically we sign with another team during the off season, and we get a phone call from the police where we basically learn that Vic died in a car crash with the car that we gave him. Freak breaks down and cries, and then we get a hard cut to the future where we find out that Freak and CC gifted their parents a new house, right? Nice ending, but no, because Vic has to come in and ruin everything. He comes back as a ghost, I'm not even making this up, and he starts doing this monologue where he admits that—
Alright, that was the forgotten chaos of NBA 2K16's MyCareer story. We're gonna end it early. It's cool though. I got more videos coming. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, and yeah, Uriah out.